What's up, Mookie? Thank you so much for the 31 months. No secret Rifkin cameo in the bracket, I know. What can I say? So dude's just saving his strats for GSL, I guess. What's up, Venom Talk as well, the Wardy Hypes in the chat to get us started today. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back on the channel for, even if it's just a short appearance over the next couple of weeks. We do have to the bottom right-hand side our Blue Zerg player from Splice. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, if you are cheering on Solar. He's going up against the red Terran player to the top left-hand side of the map. This, my friends, is Kelazhur. And Kelazhur is going to be opening with the proxy barracks. Well, why not? You know, some days, why not? You may as well. So again, step up into this here, looking to see what's going to be happening. Again, I got a few, my eyes on a few different games as well on the second screen. Again, I'd love to get into that Reynor series, maybe show you guys a bit of Reynor today. Scarlet potentially plays Gumiho in the second round as well. Obviously, that's something that's fairly worth watching out for. The winner of this series plays Hero, which is obviously kind of worth jumping into as well, most likely. So there is so much going on, so much happening, so much for us to potentially cast today. It's going to be one of those pretty crazy days of StarCraft 2, I feel. So Papa Mitch with the 36 button for the 3-year resub. Dude, what's up? How are you doing today? Thank you so much. As we do see Stoller, we'll see this SCV coming in from an odd angle. And that should be a bit of a heads up for him already, as he did go hatch first though. Let's see how his response is going to be looking here very, very soon. But Papa Mitch, dude, thank you so much for the 3-year resub. Got some love in the chat for Mookie and Papa Mitch on the big resubs. Both big supporters of the channel, helping us keep on going throughout the years. Yeah, literally throughout the years at this stage. On the tier 2 as well from Papa Mitch as well. Let's not forget. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Marine comes forwards and will start to tag its way through this natural hatchery. So a little bit of damage being done already as we do see a Roach Roaring on the way up. And oh my god, we have another big resub from Dark Ones. Oh my god, we got all the originals in here, don't we? Dark Ones of the 31 months as well. Get some love in the chat for Dark Ones too, guys. As we are just going to be quickly focusing up on this attack though, because bunkers are up, hatchery is falling. It looks as though Solar, very content that this is a free racks, is just going to go into the Roach Roaring and the Ravagers. This is a perfectly fine response against the free racks. The issue is if this was a 2 racks, it would not be a good response. It would be way too much of an overcommitment. You give up the hatchery, you let the Terran player kind of macro out of it, and the Terran player really will just go into quite a huge lead from that sort of point onwards. So it is something you would kind of generally look to avoid, I suppose, going in towards that sort of a response. So yeah, as these Marines get rid of the hatchery, we will be seeing a few things trying to sneak out here, and they do get out onto the map. Barracks are flying home, at least one of them is, 2 of them still on the map here as well. And we are going to be seeing these couple of bunkers just set up at the front as we see 2 Ravagers of Solar morphed on in, and another Roach here, potentially into a Ravager very shortly, and there it is. So the Ravagers will help to start busting this down and breaking on out. We do see a command center as an expansion thrown down here from Kelazhur at the front of his base. So he's getting that set up and ready to go. As we do see, again, these 3 Ravagers, the Roach, thinking of coming forwards and just trying to deal a little bit of damage wherever possible. Crystal Bars dropping on down here, and we are going to be seeing that bunker taking a little bit more damage once again. A few Zerglings coming all the way back up towards the upper left-hand side of the map. Is my microphone quiet, by the way, guys? I kind of feel like I'm very quiet. Let me know if there's some sound issues. It looks like I'm quiet, but I guess people might have mentioned already. Anyways, just let me know if there is an issue. Again, yes, Solar will break out of this. We kind of knew this was going to happen. He should be able to save this one low health Ravager as well, which means he's going to kill everything. Actually, no salvage here on the bunker means that it will go down. No minerals returned. And Solar with his own hatchery starting up. Well, now the issue for Kelazhur is, what the heck does he have to defend against this Ravager-based counterattack? Well, he's going to start up a Cyclone from the factory. He's got barracks to build Marines, but that alone, I don't really feel is going to be enough. He's going to have a bunker on the high ground, but with this many Ravagers, 5 of them, I mean, that's 300 damage per set of Corrosive Biles. And yes, that doesn't quite kill the bunker, but it brings it very low. So it will definitely set up very effectively here, and should be able to maybe bust on through if he gets a couple of extra shots off along the way. Let's see what happens. As we do have these Ravagers pushing up the ramp, and here we go. First Corrosive Biles coming down, and he won't quite break through yet, and Solar will be kind of happy, I guess, in a way, just to sort of sit back, maybe, and just to macro this out. Instead, of course, I mean, if you keep the Terran player from moving to the low ground, they're still on 1 base eco, while you double expand up to the 3 bases. As the Banshee comes out from Kelazhur, that will be the one final kind of moment, which is like, okay, boom, I can suddenly turn this away. Actually, going up to 7 Ravagers here means he has busted through. Suddenly, we are going to be seeing this People going down as well. So suddenly Kelazhur's supply blocks. Solo's running out of time to do damage though, because this Banshee's on the way out, and unless he kills the starport, I mean, he's going to start going after it now, but 1300 hit points, he kills the tech lab. Oh, I mean, SCVs will start to repair it, right? So it shouldn't go down. But even still, I mean, SCVs are dropping here. A few more corrosive bars to continue to push units back, and yeah, the Banshee's going to come out, and I think Solo very much so knows that. And I'm kind of surprised he isn't pulling back and keeping these Ravagers alive. I guess he just wants to try and go for as much damage as possible. Second Cyclone pops as well. Now there is going to be a lot of damage being done to these Ravagers. And Solo, well, again, there's no real way out of this for him right now. He's got 4 Ravagers that are just going to get attacked, and he knows he can't get back home, and that's why he turns back up the ramp into the main base to at least get a couple more kills. He'll kill a Ravager, a Cyclone, so that will be about it. The final corrosive bars don't hit anything at all, as we do see the Cyclone and Marines will get rid of this Overlord right here. So Cyclone and Marines get rid of that Overlord, and, well, here we are, just sat waiting to see what the next move from each of these players will be. Obviously, Kelazhur just cleaned out a lot of the army. He's built up a good amount of army himself. He does have a decent amount going for himself also, I suppose, as we do see the lair on the way up. And Kelazhur is going to be coming down to the south, but, I mean, Solo's on 52 drones. He still has a Rotron, right? So he still has a way to actually deal with, you know, to make units and to defend. This needs to actually make those units. He's going to be a little bit supply blocked in the moment, so has to be a little bit cautious here. First Banshee actually very narrowly getting this Queen kill as well. We'll see one of these Cyclones going low. Drones are going to start pulling into this to help out against the Cyclone. Banshee should really get on top of these Queens. Transfuse comes down to save the low health Queen. That's already pretty fantastic. There's still a lot of Marines here as well, which do get one of the Queens now. Another Roach going to go down here, and Solo just needs a moment or two to stabilize. He just needs to gather his units stuff together. Still 20 workers in the lead. Even if he loses these ones here, he's still in a comfortable worker lead. He just needs to actually be able to clean this up. This is another Roach. Another Queen's going to go down pretty quickly as well. Those Marines are dealing some real damage, and this Chaos might just bring Kelazhur right back into the game. Solo supply blocked still, and, well, with 6 Overlords on the way up, that kind of shows you that this has been a little bit of a mess for him here in recent times, as we see a few of these Marines continue to get picked off, and they will continue to go on down. So, nice cleanup in the end as these Roaches and Queens gather up towards the left-hand side. Well, okay, I mean, eventually defense from Solo, but now Kelazhur is all the way up to only a 10 worker deficit, compared to the 25-ish worker deficit he had before that. Obviously, that's quite a turnaround here, so Kelazhur turn things around with this counter-attack across the map, and we will see Solo then. He's going to be looking to see what his next move is. Obviously, he'll want to redraw a little bit. His Roach speed is on the way up already, and as the Roach speed comes into play, this will allow him to get a lot more aggressive with those Roaches in the near future. He could be going towards this third base, for example. He could push up towards the natural. We do currently see a Banshee just moving in towards the center here as the Liberator sets up from Kelazhur, sieging on Earth. So left-hand side of Viking is going to be moving around as well. So Viking just moving around a little bit to the left. You see this Banshee is tapping away at that Roach. So this Roach is going to go down. And we do just have this Overseer to the left side. It is going to be finishing up and able to get away from the Viking. With the Queen to support, it will stay alive. So Solo back on the offensive. No upgrades for him, by the way. It's not really looking much further into this game. He goes into Tunneling Claws and Barossa upgrades that will help him harass. There we go. Finally a +1 missile upgrade. And I guess the Carapace not to be too far behind. So he will get upgrades going in the end. I mean, in fairness, Kelazhur has only just started his own +1 weapon attack upgrade on the engineering base. So it's not like this is a super crazy situation here, as we do see this Viking of Kelazhur will be heading back up the left side and seeing what he can do from there. Banshee in the middle from Kelazhur, just patrolling back and forth. Tunneling Claws on the way up, about halfway done. A few drones going down to this Liberator harassment. I mean, this is great from Kelazhur. The more stuff like this he gets done in the game, the less Solo's going to have to throw at him in the near future. Still very intrigued to see how these Tunneling Claws are going to work out for him, of course. See if he can maybe just jump up from underneath an army, get right on top of it, kill off the tanks instantly, and we'll just have a lot of success from there. Already one Roach has made its way towards the third base, and we will see an SCV already being pushed away. So that's a good little bit of information, I guess, from Solo, if nothing else. Just seeing the next expansion already up and rolling. Checks into the main base with the Overseer. No energy for Contaminate or anything crazy like that to slow down tank production or something. So he'll just continue away and up to the upper left. Banshee's still just patrolling around this central position. Some units already in the middle as well to turn away the drops, and with these Roaches burrowing forwards, there is a missile turret on the way up, but it actually might just be a few seconds too late. It's going to be pretty darn close. 6 seconds to go. I mean, I think he catches the tail end of these Roaches. As he moves on through, he's just going to be seen here for a split second. I'm not sure if Kelazhur actually realized it. He is going to start stimming back, so it looks as though he knows what's up. There's not actually a completed wall off up here after losing it earlier on, as we are going to be seeing scans available. And the first scan actually comes down across the map to get rid of some of this creep spread. These roaches are very slowly trying to make their way through these barracks. Scan over here now as well, and the natural is revealed to have roaches in it. So just a little bit slow to really make use of these, as we see 2 more of those roaches actually went down to the natural, even though the scan was already there. And then again, Solar, he could have popped up here a little while ago and already gotten damage done. Now instead, well, yes, he'll force another scan, but it's a lot of roaches are going down, but not really a lot gained. He's actually going to get a few of these, in fact 5 of them, out of the scan radius, so that's pretty great. He'll lose 2 more now, but it forces another scan, if nothing else. These 2 roaches here obviously looking as though they want to maybe try and pop up once again and get a little bit more damage themselves. So they're going to go for a couple more SCVs. Meanwhile, in the main base, a drop is finding some pretty good damage from Kelazhur. He'll lift up and leave, though, before it gets too late and the Ravagers and Roaches come to deal with him. The switch up into Ling Speed and Bane Speed is obviously Solar changing up his game style here as he moves forwards. Goes into +2 carapace, and he will switch into +1 melee as well. So it looks as though we're going to switch generally into Ling, Bane, Ravager, maybe in towards Ultras as well, with this Hive Tech now all currently on the way up. He is defending this Hive Tech for the moment as well, as you will see the 2 Medivacs moving up to your right hand side. WardiTV is being picked away at here as well in the main base, so some good damage being dealt. We'll see the Burrower coming back down. Another scan. We will have these roaches just continuing to take a lot of hits, so it's still forcing scans. It's still slowing down economy. Kelazhur with this Banshee still chilling out in the center of the map. The Viking as well currently coming back in towards the top side here, as that Hive is on the way up, about 75% of the way done. 5th hatchery currently on the way down as the Marines stimming forwards. Lings continue to come on in here as well and looking for the surround on these Marines to shut them down and get them out of there. Marines are going to be pushed away off over to the right hand side. Lings, Banes, Ravagers and Roaches all gathered up together at the moment. Kelazhur coming back around, looping around here. 5th base on the way down from Solar. So he gets his 5th base set up here in the center of the map. 2 Medivacs of Kelazhur going to be coming along to the left hand side as well. Going to be trying to get some more damage done. A couple of Marines unload. And they get blown up pretty quickly. 2 Vipers on the way out as well, and we are just going to be seeing still here. Well, this is heading towards a later game than we might have originally expected. We do have these units going to come back down towards the bottom left as Marines are stimming in. We do see a good amount of drones already being picked away at here. This hatchery maybe in some trouble. These 2 Medivacs killing, with the Marines killing things so quickly, and I kind of feel like Kelazhur should have committed onto the hatchery. I know it's low enough to maybe take down later, but he could have killed this right here and now, and that would have really been so much better for him in terms of slowing Solar down. Right now, Solar's looking pretty good, I think, because the Ultras are starting to come onto the map, and if he just survives the minute and a half until Chitinous is ready, the Ultras are out. At that point, I don't know what Kelazhur really does with his current setup. You know, he's got a good amount of tanks, sure, but he doesn't have any sort of reasonable number of, Liberators or Ghosts or anything to really deal with Ultras. And okay, there's only going to be 1 or 2 Ultras here initially, but he doesn't even have any Marauders. 2 Marauders? I just don't see it right now, as we do see Lings trying to fight up here once again. We'll force those Medivacs to lift up and get out of there. These 2 Medivacs on the bottom left side are coming back in. Solar's Lings are just a little bit too far away to be in position, so the 4th base will fall, but he will kill a full Medivac as it loaded up Marines there to try and evacuate them. And, well, again, it's unfortunate for Solar, but he's at least got something back out of it, as we'll see a drop into the main base. A couple of overlords could be a prime target here. I mean, there's a few units already around. These Marines are so overstimmed that they're actually going to go down very easily. Solar, without much issue there, is able to push those back. And Kelazhur just trying to keep up the pressure and stop Solar from, being ready to attack to deny the 4th base coming up, for example. Kelazhur never pushed across with 2-2 here. I mean, obviously it wasn't quite lined up. Even with +2 armor finishing, he isn't unsieging his tanks and pushing forwards. It looks as though he wants to sit back, build up the Liberators, and get ready to play against these Ultras in the more passive manner. Just play in towards the later stages of the game. Marines and Marauder going to be setting up here in the middle as well, but Solar's pretty quick on it, and again, Kelazhur, he's trying to buy time to set this 4th base up, but now Solar has found that moment to get across the map, so suddenly Kelazhur, he's going to have that base denied just a little bit. I mean, there's Medivac still flying around over here, going to try and do just a little bit more as well. There's 1 more Medivac here too. This is all happening on creep though, so Solar in general is seeing this happening already. This Medivac's being dealt with. This Medivac shouldn't cause too much issue. We are going to be seeing Liberators heating up to try and help defend this 4th base now. One single burrowed Zergling is going to try and slow down that process though. Just drop cleaned up. Means that again Solar is fairly safe. He's actually killed both the medevacs as well, so it's not like these drops are now continuing. These drops are just straight up done for at the moment, as we're going to be seeing. Well, a little bit Ling Bane going to find themselves a siege tank on the upper right side. There's a lot of tanks very far back here from Kelazhur. A little bit concerned if he's not too careful. You know, if he takes the fight all the way over here, those tanks are very exposed. Or if Solar somehow fights up here, yes, he's running into siege tanks, but they're only siege tanks. You know, there's nothing in front of them to protect them. So you get on top of them pretty quickly. More than 31 more Banelings, 44 more Zerglings currently on the way out in production as well. Fire units will split out just a little bit, and we are going to be seeing these couple of Liberators are still just setting up and just going to be making sure to try and deal with this army. Again, it's a defensive setup from Kelazhur, knowing that if he can sit here on this 4-base economy, he can probably do enough to win this out. As we do see blind clouds coming down, the first couple of tanks that will happen on the Vipers. And well, we are going to be seeing these Vultures are really cleaving their way through so far. We're actually going to see the Liberators re-sieging here. He gets rid of one of them with the Corrosive Biles. Solar backs away into 48 more Zerglings of production. I kind of feel like Solar has enough right now to put himself in a winning position. He's actually got a little bit of a Ling Bane run by at the same time. Kelazhur dealt with it pretty well though. You're going to see a couple of Banelings burrow up to the northern side there, so they're going to be hidden away. They could cause some chaos, definitely, as we are going to be seeing those SCVs back to mining. There's a little bit of Bio Forces are able to push this little bit of Ling Bane back to the right-hand side. But here we go, once again at the front. Trying to get some damage done. It's that lone Liberator that's kind of on its own. Corrosive Biles will come down to get rid of it. Now Kelazhur, now I'm a little bit more concerned for him, right? Because now he really doesn't have any sort of standing force to really help him defend. Medevacs are coming back up over here. We saw a couple of those Banes coming in. He actually boosted the Medevacs to heal up these SCVs. Another quick burrow of a few Banes, but this time Kelazhur saw it, and because of that he's able to scan, he's able to clean them up, and those Banelings go down, but it does give him the opportunity, Kelazhur, to jump onto this 4th base. Banes into the mineral line to help get rid of the SCVs. The Planetary Fortress goes down. This is already enough here from Solar. He can just back away now and get back into his production. 2 more Ultras on the way up. He did lose all of his Ultras in this fight, so it does create a weaker moment or two for him now. I say all of them. He has 1 left on 41 HP. We'll see how long that lasts. Kelazhur somewhat desperately pushing onto Creep Spread, which means the Banelings able to roll forwards a bit more easily than before. A transfusion to keep the Ultras alive as well. Suddenly a full health Ultras turns around into this army. A siege tank setting up, going to go down very quickly. The rest of the tanks still building up right now. Corrosive Biles should be able to get rid of those, and they will indeed do the job. But now there's a couple of Liberators as well, which you maybe also need the Corrosive Biles for. Medevac's taking a lot of damage in the skies. We see the Ultra gets on top of the siege tank, but Marauder will take it down. Still those 2 Liberators causing the most issue, but the Ravage will come around the sides, and that's the point at which Kelazhur realizes, okay, I got to get out of here. Otherwise, I'm just going to be losing units. And that's not really what we want to have happening at all, is it? A couple more Banes showing up. As you see, Ling Bane and Ravager going to push up in towards this high ground, and it will be enough, perhaps, to just clean this out. If not now, in a few moments' time when extra reinforcements come and join up, because at the moment, Solar's been absolutely crushing it, and obviously without the further economy for Kelazhur, without the income that he needs to really support all of his production, he isn't going to start closing down the supply gap and the supply difference in armies, which is currently around 15 to 20. I see a couple of creep units being picked away at already. The first Ravager goes down here. Ultras Lings streaming on in, and they are going to get some surrounds. They're going to clean up these Marines, and, well, there's a couple of Corrosive Biles come down on the Liberators. And a couple of Corruptors are going to show up as well, and I mean, you get rid of this Liberator, you can chase down the Medevacs. There's nothing else really to fight here for Kelazhur. So much of his army supply was actually in Medevacs. Don't worry. As we go into game number 2. I just want to very quickly, before this game kicks off, go through those shoutouts again. Again, Mucky with the 31 months. Papa Mitch on the tier 2 for 36 months. Another 31 months from Dark Ones. And then the 3 months came in from Corvus saying, it's going up, PogChamp. Thank you so much, guys, for all of the love, for all the resubs. Especially those long resubs. I mean, I know Corvus has been resubbed multiple times as well beyond those 3 months, so thanks everybody, do appreciate it. What's up Taco Stuff with the Cheer 5 in the chat as well, thank you so much. And what's up Harsum with the host. How's everyone doing from Harsum's stream? Welcome to the channel, guys. It's Kung Fu Cup number 11, $500 on the line today. We have a lot of top level Korean players, and we'll get some products rolling for you guys in the near future as well. Right now it is a TVZ though, and it is Solar versus Kelazhur. So let's go in to Dreamcatcher and see what's going to happen. To the bottom right hand side, our blue Terran player is Kelazhur. And to the top left-hand side. This is the red circle play from Splice. It is Solar. Alright then, guys. Again, good to be back on the channel. Good to be back streaming. Have missed you guys. Yeah, just very excited to bring you guys some content here today. As I've been saying, it's kind of a rough week because all the European players are generally kind of practicing for Valencia, so it's very hard to run an EU event. I was considering running an NA event, but honestly, I just didn't get the chance to really set anything up, and I have some early morning casts as well because I'm casting some stuff on WardiTV, and in general, it's just been a bit of an unlucky week, and with me being at Home Story Cup and soon going to Valencia, it just means we're going to be missing out on some streams for a while, which I really hate, but I do have big plans for when I return. We are talking multiple tournaments throughout July and August. I have a lot of cast on base trade when I come back, but I'm also going to be doing some other stuff here and there. In general, it's just a bit of a busy time. I've actually been, just the last few days, I've been looking at some places to potentially move into as well. So when I get back from Valencia, when I come back from Valencia, I'm literally going to be juggling, like, trying to cast on my channel, casting the base trade TV stuff because Rifkin's getting his wisdom teeth out, so I'm going to be doing a lot of base trade casts. And I'm also going to be trying to juggle, like, viewing houses and deciding where I want to move to, you know? So I'm going to be, like, you know, pro juggler by the time July is over. But it's very exciting in general. It's going to be a lot of StarCraft content and a lot of good stuff to look forward to, as we do see this Reaper is going to be pulling back down to the low ground. Actually, on the way up to the right-hand side here, we will just see the Ling speed coming through from Solar. Tech Lab on the way up on a barracks in the main base, and a factory is going to be finishing up very shortly here as well. Reactor on this barracks, so setting up into this game number 2. It's been a much more standard game without the proxied barracks in the initial stages. You see the Reaper going to throw down a grenade and just going to be pushing back a creep tumor, and we'll be just again slowing that creep wherever possible. Just trying to keep things from being too much of a nuisance here. Give me a moment, guys. My Skype has decided consistently to reset itself and to put itself on available rather than do not disturb. So give me just a moment here to put it back on D&D before we get some Skype messages, and then everyone's going to be like, huh? What's happening? Why is my Skype beeping? I've not used Skype since 2007. Why do people still use Skype? Well, I ask the same question. Why do people still use Skype? Why aren't we all in just one big Discord server? I actually really don't understand why we don't have one big Discord server with just all the pros, all the community casters, or all the tournament organizers. You just be like, okay, now everyone can contact everyone. We don't need to be in this absolute mess of, Skype, which just doesn't work half the time for some reason. What's up, the Boot 100 with the 9-month free sub? How you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for the 100 years. Oh wait, no, that's your username. It's only 9 months. Oh, God. All these numbers. Hashtag math on stream. Is it math if you're just reading out numbers? Sure. If it involves numbers, it's math. Simple as that. Hashtag logic. Carapace upgrade on the way here from Solar. Now, this is a 2-1-1 from Kelazhur, so this is obviously very much so a build that Solar will know how to deal with generally. The +1 Carapace makes a lot of sense because you're usually going to be taking a lot more hits than hits you're going to be dealing when you're playing Lings against Marines. So this works out. He's actually going to make way from the reactor with the starport. I wonder if that factory jumps onto the stud reactor here. We see some Hellions, maybe like a 2-base Hell battle in with this. That'd be kind of cool to see, as we do see these medevacs starting and load in the center of the map. So 16 Marines going to start pushing in here. A couple of Lings going down already. 1-1 upgrades coming through, and we are just going to be seeing these Marines turning for a fight. They will get themselves a Queen already. It's a nice little pickup on the Queen, now a lift up on the medevacs, and they will boost on out of there over to the right-hand side. So they are done. They're out of there, and they're going to load to the right-hand side now instead. Fading Nest is still just on the way up here from Solar, so getting that up on the natural expansion. I mean, good defense so far. Gets one of the medevacs low already. That makes life much easier, of course. Doesn't let these Marines even clean up any of the creep spread just yet. Cancels this one tumor, so it's still active. Queens come forwards again, and another couple of shots. It just means it's so difficult to do more with these medevacs if they're constantly low on hit points, because now they're very targetable. And now it's scary for Kelazhur to stay active with these, and he maybe won't be able to get enough damage done, as we will be having those medevacs coming down the right side and back in towards the center, it looks like. Oh, a few more Marines just unloading here as we see 1-1 upgrades the combat shields as well. Just going to be seeing a few more banelings on the way up and a couple of extra hatcheries, one on the main base, one on the 4th, as you'll see Kelazhur getting set up for his 3rd CC here in the next few moments. Still pushing forwards, and here comes wave 2 of this attack. In the end, it was just an extra barracks build on the reactor. Factory was building up tanks with the tech lab that it built, so interesting little setup as we see the Queens again do get a medevac this time, and the Lings do make it through this very narrow choke point to a position where they can kind of fight against that Marine medevac. 2 tanks still inside these medevacs, and they will unload now. Sieging up here is kind of the priority. When you push around in this way and you have that tank support reaching out to around about here, makes it very difficult for the Zerg to engage forwards then. So that's probably the goal from Kelazhur. He's playing it very passively at the moment, sieging up to the right hand side of those grassy areas. Hydra's Den on the way up in the 3rd base of Solar 2, so Hydra's Den setting up there as we see this medevac is going to go down. Well, that's pretty great, because right now these Queens are tanking a lot of damage, which means that the Ling Bane gets a chance to roll forwards here. A lot of the Bane's taken out though, and Solar is going to have to take a moment or two, because he doesn't actually have enough to hold this off at the moment. He's going to maybe think about running forwards with the Lings again. One of the 2 tanks went down. Reinforcements starting to stack up from Kelazhur though, 2nd siege tank arriving. Remember, he does have an expansion to take behind this, with the 4th and 5th racks now on the way up. You know, this wasn't super committed pressure from Kelazhur, as we do see these Banes rolling forwards once again, starting to connect on the Marines this time around, and a couple more of them will continue to come on forwards. This time too many Zerglings and these medevacs will be pushed away, or the medevac with the Marines inside will be pushed away. Good defense in the end here by Solar, pushing Kelazhur back and putting us into this kind of reset position. So Kelazhur still kind of leading in upgrades though. In fact, I kind of feel like I want to enjoy Kelazhur's position. 2-2 on the way already versus +1 carapace only and +1 melee upgrading still. You know, he's got a 3rd base moving out into position, his production set up. But as much as there's things to kind of look at and be like, cool, there's also the fact that Solar's on 71 drones, 20 army supply up, and he's just stacking up units right now. He's getting his 2nd Evo chamber, so 2-2 will come down at a similar time for himself. An infestation pit coming down as well in the main base right now as also. Obviously, send up to the top side as well. I'm just seeing this creep spread is pushing around all the way towards the upper right, all the way down at the left-hand side also as well. A little bit more creep just out through the center. 2 medevacs going to be unloading to the left-hand side as well, so just going to be unloading here. We are going to be seeing a good group of Marines just going to start stimming in and get themselves their creep unit to begin with, and well, another couple of Banes going to be showing up and thinking about wanting to try and jump on in towards this here. Medevacs do load though, and they are able to get in towards the main base. Starting to unload right now. Some medevacs unloading, they're going to stim forwards here, and 1 Hydra goes down, a 2nd Hydra goes down. We are going to be seeing the Lings coming through and able to push those Lings back, so unfortunately for the moment, Kelazhur is not able to get a lot done. As 2-2 comes up for him, he's got a stray medevac to the top left side, but again, Solar's keeping on deflecting. And as Solar deflects and defends, his hive tech starts to come on through, he starts to set up into a bit of a better position in general, and obviously Solar's later game scenario is really starting to look very good for him. Medevac's coming into the left-hand side, and well, first couple of Banes on their own do get targeted down pretty quickly. A Queen straggling on the bottom side as well gets taken down. It's just the Hydra force is a little bit too strong, which is weird because usually the Hydras on their own, they don't do too well, but it's just not a huge army here from Kelazhur, quite frankly, and because of that, he can't really push in here, even though there was just a very low number of Lings in front of the Hydras. Again, random medevacs all over the place. I'm not sure if this is sort of mis-rally or if there was some reason to that. I mean, there's not really a reason having 2 empty medevacs up here unless he's trying to bait Solar out of position with some Hydras, which is somewhat plausible. It's definitely something we've seen before. Empty medevacs to try and bait a Zerg into defending and then hit with absolutely everything elsewhere. Yeah, we've definitely seen those sort of movements before. As we'll see some of these Marines unloading here to the top side, to the center. Medevacs healing those up, and again, Lingbane Hydra still looking to be the defensive setup. Soon to be joined by a couple of Vipers. Now, obviously, we'll start changing the game because it makes fighting against Siege Tanks a lot easier. Apparently, Solar's happy with this fight. He comes on in, and the Lings keep on streaming through. The Banes keep on connecting. 1 Siege Tank left here in the back. I think this is where Solar has to turn around, though. Only Hydras against these Marines does not turn out to be a good trade, although the medevac not healing here, and actually only 1 medevac left in general, I suppose, means you can't sit and fight this. It's a good read by Solar, knowing he can push all the way in there, so he is able to take it. And he is going to be seeing Solar move 2